Welcome to Lesser Known Gems of British Television, part of the BritTrack's virtual Dragon Con programming.
Yes, I'm Ryan Carey. I am a volunteer with the BritTrack, and along with Mark. And yeah, just trying to figure out how to make this virtual con work.
Exactly. It's a first for all of us. Basically, what we're going to be doing with this series, and there's going to be several shorts, somewhere between 10 and 12. What we're going to be doing with this series is we're going to be recommending shows that maybe don't quite get the love of, say, a Downton Abbey or a Sherlock or Doctor Who. You know, especially since everybody's stuck at home with this pandemic business. Maybe you're looking for, maybe you've watched Downton Abbey 20 times, and maybe you'd like to watch something else. Or, so we're going to offer some of our recommendations for stuff that you might enjoy. And now, I'll freely admit, we aren't going to be able to cover everything, even with this. So just take these recommendations and stuff you might enjoy. Just realize that there's a lot of British TV out there. One of the things we're going to do is we're going to tell you, at least with the shows that we're talking about, where you can watch them, at least here in the U.S. I mean, I'm not hip to how you watch them in the U.K. or Australia or anywhere internationally. So take it for what it is. It's just U.S. The only reason I know we're going to do U.S. is because that's where I live. That's what I know. So anyway, Ryan, why don't you go ahead and talk about, introduce your show and let us know where we can watch it.
Well, one show that I really enjoyed is called Jekyll. It was made for just one season, just 6 episodes in 2007. I watched it when it was streaming on Netflix for a while, but unfortunately, it's not streaming anywhere for free right now. But you can buy it on iTunes, on the Amazon Prime store, and also on Vudu. But because it's only 6 episodes, it doesn't cost. It's like $5 for the whole series.
It's probably also available on DVD for people.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure you can find it on eBay or Amazon for pretty cheap on DVD as well. But it's actually a series that was written and created by Stephen Moffat, and it's kind of one of his lesser known series, but still equally good. It stars James Nesbitt as Dr. Tom Jackman, who has started exhibiting a alternate personality, in which he's estranged himself from his family out of fear for their safety and hired a psychiatrist to help him figure this out. This alternate personality is a lot more primal and stronger, more violent, more unpredictable. And the two personalities can't communicate with each other, so they don't know what each other did. So they use a audio recorder to communicate with each other. Meanwhile, his wife has hired detectives to figure out what's become of him, and his previous employer has hired a private security firm to hunt him down to figure out what's going on with him. So, in addition to dealing with all these, his alternate personality, which has taken on the name Hyde, is growing stronger and more frequent. And interestingly, it takes place in the modern times. And unlike Sherlock, which is a modern reimagining of Sherlock Holmes, this is actually a modern sequel to the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde story from Robert Louis Stevenson.
So they reference back to the actual original material then.
Yes, yeah. I'm not going to divulge too many spoilers, but yeah, they make a lot of references to the original book.
Oh, that's nice, especially for people who have either watched a adaptation of the original book or have actually read the original book. It's not actually very long. It's
No.
For people that like to actually read. So, why would you? So you think this is a big, especially if they're big Stephen Moffat fans who like Sherlock?
Yeah, for Stephen Moffat fans, especially those that like his modern adaptations of classic tales. If you like Sherlock, you'll like it. If you like his work with Doctor Who, I'm sure you'll like it. Because it also features Michelle Ryan and Mark Gatiss in it, which have collaborated with Moffat on Doctor Who and Sherlock and other series that he's done.
Yeah, I met Michelle Ryan at Gallifrey 1 earlier this year before COVID shut everything down.
Yeah,
she's really nice. And I actually saw her in Bionic Woman. That short-lived series, and that was actually a really good series. It's too bad it didn't last very long.
Yeah,
but that's the nature of TV. Same thing with Jekyll. It's only 6 episodes long.
Yeah, they were going to do an American adaptation of it, but I don't think that ever happened.
Do American adaptations of British series ever really work?
No, not really.
Except for The Office. That's
probably the one that actually really
it's the exception that proves the rule, right? Yeah. So anyway, since this is our first episode, I'm going to talk about a show. I'm really digging deep here. And basically, this comes from 1986. I mean, we're going way back. And the show I'm going to talk about is John Silver's Return to Treasure Island. Just like Jekyll, it's a sequel to a famous book. And it was done by ITV in partnership with the Disney Channel. And it's basically somewhat a sequel to Disney's Treasure Island, which came out in 1950.
Yeah.
But the reason I really like it is the fact that Brian Blessed, yes, Brian Blessed of Flash Gordon, he was born to play Long John Silver. I mean, he is the reason to watch this. I mean, just watching him tear up the scenery as Long John Silver is great. The story is pretty simple. Basically, Jim Hawkins has grown up, and Squire Trelawney from the book sends him to Jamaica to investigate, why Trelawney's plantation isn't making any money. Meanwhile, Jim Hawkins, who still has the map to Treasure Island, is being basically followed by Long John Silver, who wants the map. Because apparently not all the treasure was taken way back when. Apparently all the gems, like diamonds, rubies, all that stuff, is still on Treasure Island. And of course, Long John Silver wants it. And it's a basic pirate adventure. I mean, if you're thinking Pirates of the Caribbean with all the supernatural stuff, no, that doesn't exist here. This is basically straight pirate adventure. Christopher Guard, who did the voice of Frodo in The Lord of the Rings, the animated movie from back in the 70s, he plays the grown-up Jim Hawkins.
Okay.
So there's a couple of people that you might know from it. There's a lot of people that you probably have never heard of, but the reason to see it is Brian Blessed as Long John Silver.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. I mean, Brian Blessed's a treasure anyway. And it's available on DVD from Region 2, which is the UK. It's not available for streaming anywhere, unfortunately. Disney, who owns the rights in the US, seems to have, quietly forgotten about it. I don't think they've specifically buried it. I think it's just with Disney, if it's old, it kind of just gets forgotten.
Interesting for people that may not know, if you have a PC with a DVD player, you can actually play Region 2 DVDs if you use the VLC media player. It has a region-free codec built into it. So
absolutely. Or you can buy a region-free DVD player, or a region-free Blu-ray player. A lot of people think they're expensive, but they're not terribly expensive. Not a ton more expensive than a regular DVD Blu-ray player. But you'll have to you can't go to the store and buy these. You have to buy them online. One of the places, you can go on Amazon and just type in region free, and they'll have like sellers who are selling them. They're not all that hard to find. And it basically, I recommend it because let's be honest, even if you have all the streaming services in the world, not everything is going to be on every streaming service, nor is everything going to be on US DVD.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I've bought series, UK series, that were not even released in the UK from Australia, because they were released in Australia of all places. Having a region free allows you to shop the world and find the stuff that you want.
Yeah.
So,
and sometimes found that buying alternate region DVDs or Blu-rays in the US ends up being cheaper than region ones in some cases, just because a lot of people don't realize you can actually play them here.
Oh yeah, exactly. Sometimes they're cheaper because the American ones have gone out of print, but they're still in print in the UK or Australia or wherever, and you can get them for a lot cheaper because they're still in print.
Yeah.
So it's definite. I do still think it's definitely worth considering getting a region-free player. I mean, obviously, a lot of people are moving to streaming, and I have, basically just about every British-centric service. I have Acorn, I have BritBox, I have PBS. All the stuff that focus has heavily on British, but there's still a lot of stuff that hasn't gotten to streaming.
Yeah, exactly.
For Ryan and myself, I hope you enjoy the rest of Virtual Dragon Con and all the great BritTrack programming that we've got coming to you.
Yep.